Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. I want to talk to you today about your client contract. There's a lot of different opinions about client contracts. They should be long, they should be short. You can operate without a client contract. I've heard the gamut across the board in different Facebook groups and from fellow web designers. But today I'm going to share with you my tips for your client contract and a habit that I want you to adopt. For those who don't know me, my name is Cami McNamara, and I own WebCami LLC. I am a one-person agency in Seattle, Washington, and I have been building websites for more than 20 years, for 24 years to be exact. So I've had a contract in place pretty much the whole time. I think even with my very first client, I had them sign a contract. So let's dive right into what my tips are and what my habit is for the week. So this week, my web designer habit. Oh, and before I do that, webdesignerhabits.com is where you sign up for my newsletter. This video and podcast accompany that newsletter, and I just try to explain to you the reasonings behind the habits that I'm introducing for web designers. All of them are meant to make your business run smoother, which should make your life happier and just make running your business a little bit easier. You learning how to be a web designer and how to learn design, that's all up to you. But running your business is something that I feel I can share good tips with as somebody who's been doing it for a long time. So back to our topic. So I have a little show and tell today. This is a contract from 2007 from my business. And as you can see, it's not short. It is 7 pages long. My current contract is even longer. I think it's 9 or 10. But anyway, back in the old days, you would give somebody a piece of paper and they would sign your contract. They would fill in this information. Both myself and the customer would sign it on the back, which was always a little difficult because we'd have to do it in person, or I would leave it with them with a prepaid envelope for them to mail it to me, and then I would sign it. I'm so glad those days are over. But I've always had a lengthy contract because I think it's a good way to weed the pumpkin patch, so to say. For those who've read The Pumpkin Plan, it's a way for you to weed out clients that may not be a good fit for you. And yes, I had clients back in the day return this to me with all sorts of markups. And I would just say, well, this contract is my contract. If you want to formulate your own contract, I will review it and see if I want to sign it. But this was developed with the help of an attorney way back a long time ago. And I'm not an attorney, so I'm not going to make changes to a contract. I don't know what I'm doing. So, as a general rule, for every contract I give out, even to this day, it's sign it or don't sign it, work with me or don't work with me. No wiggle room. So if they want their own contract, have them bring it. And I have had very big clients give me their own contracts, not even sign mine. So that can happen too when you're working with a government agency or something like that. But back to contract. So I'm going to assume that you have a contract and maybe you haven't reviewed it in a long time. Well, what has happened in the last 10 years? We have website accessibility. We have legal requirements by different states. Now we have AI. Now, I mean, there's always things evolving in your business. On top of that, you have the experience of the nightmare client that took advantage of you, or you have experience of a really great client that you learned something from, or you had the experience of a friend who's a web designer that shared their contract and you think they have some good things going on here. So one of the changes that I made in my business a few years ago is I decided to sign up for Nathan Ingram's monster contracts. Nathan's contract is also quite long. And when I signed up for it, I first thought, well, maybe I don't really need this because my contract and Nathan's contract were really close to each other. But I decided to stay subscribed to that because it was such a good contract. And Nathan is paying for an attorney to review it each year and make changes to it. So I can review what Nathan has done in his contract, compare it to my contract, see if I feel comfortable, and especially with additions. So Nathan has clauses for AI and accessibility and things like that, and I really appreciated those statements. A lot of things my contract does not put in firm, it's not firm about. Timelines. I never put a timeline for a project in my contract. My contract isn't just for the project I'm working on, it's for everything I do. So my contract covers web design, my care plan. I don't have a separate care plan. I rolled it into my main contract. It really covers a lot of things. But when a client and I talk about a timeline, the time that the timeline is met is usually very small because I'm usually waiting for the client to get me contact. So I actually have something in there that says, we're both going to work to the best of our abilities to get this done in the timeline we discuss, but there are things that can affect that. And most of the time it's the client, right? For not getting their content together. So these are all kinds of things that you need to think about with your contract. And there's all sorts of resources out there for you to purchase contracts. There are business attorneys that you can find in organizations like BNI. I would suggest that you talk to one that understands a web design project, that it's different than, it's different than other things that you might have a contract for. So I would keep all of that in mind. But every year I'm reviewing my contract, and AI has made this it's a very good tool to review your contract with. I wouldn't make major changes with it, but you can certainly fine tune and have conversations. I use ChatGPT, you can use Claude or Gemini, but all of them are going to give you some feedback on refining what you've put together. And in addition to that, you can take your contract and then your proposal document and say, are there conflicts here? Am I saying one thing in one document, but not saying it in the other document? Where are those loopholes? So that is, in a nutshell, this week's habit of the week is to take a look at your contract and decide if you need to refine it, change it, update it. If you need to sign up for Monster Contracts by Nathan Ingram, I do have an affiliate link. I am going to include that in show notes and on both this video and in my podcast. And also, if you are a web designer, and a lot of web designers are feeling the pinch, they're feeling nervous. One of the best things you can do to eliminate feeling like that is to be in control of your business. So getting your contract all ready to go, being thankful that you don't have to do it this way anymore. I use a tool called Sign Now. But you can, now these days, Google Docs has a signature feature. So I should probably revisit that myself. But there's all kinds of tools out there. There are proposal tools that you can use to send your proposal and your contract. So I send a contract that's totally separate from everything else because I want them to sign one contract. They can be my client for 10 years. I don't raise rates on clients. I grandfather them. So new clients pay more than old clients. But that's just my preference. So I get them to sign that contract once, and unless, like I am about to make all of the people who are on these, I have a file full of old paper contracts. They're all going to get sent digital contracts soon. I should have done that a long time ago. But for the most case, they're signing a general contract agreement that is staying in place for me. Their proposals, their estimates, those change all the time. It does say at the very top that this has an attached estimate or proposal or hosting agreement, those types of things. So that is my tip for the week, and I hope you have a fantastic work week. If you are a web designer and you're seeing this video for the first time and you want a tip every week in your inbox that isn't overwhelming, that you can implement to make your business run better, sign up at webdesignerhabits.com. If you want to meet web designers that are all wonderful people and friends of mine, I do have a Facebook group called WebCami Cafe. You're welcome to join. You can listen to this on my podcast and or just subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm really trying hard to build a following on YouTube, so I'd really appreciate that. So, web designers, don't be afraid of what's coming down the pike. If you have a business where you have built relationships, know that your clients like to have a relationship with a web designer. They like to have a person that they can rely on to take care of that website design, and just start working on building and maintaining those relationships. It has gotten me through every tough patch in the economy that we have had since 2002. And I think we're in a little tough patch in the economy right now. AI can help you run your business better, embrace it, learn it, be the person your clients turn to ask about AI. That makes you invaluable too. All right. I hope you have a great week of work and enjoy your Sunday. And thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Take care.